Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to talk about doctrines, spirits and tactics. Let's start with the doctrines as everything else largely depends on them. Superior firepower is generally considered to be the best doctrine in the game. It's a very flexible one, it gives great bonuses to both defense and attack, and it buffs support companies, which are extremely useful in all scenarios. Let's look at some of the highlights from this doctrine. Now, one of the main things is you get a very good tactic, suppressive barrage, right at the beginning with the first one. As you can see, then you get some great bonuses to the organization of your leg infantry, great bonuses to the defense of infantry, motorized and mechanized, and then the big buffs to support companies, especially big buffs to soft attack, which in single player is by far the most important thing. You get plus 25% soft attack here, and you get another plus 25% soft attack with the next one. So two very powerful skills here. Then you can continue going down the right path for even more soft attack on your infantry and support companies. With the very last skill, you also get the tactic breakthrough, which is considered to be the best tactic in the game. But actually, when you go for superior firepower, you may not want to switch from suppressive barrage to breakthrough even after unlocking it. It's up to you. So, great buffs to support companies, great buffs to soft attack, good offensive and good defensive buffs, so by far the most versatile and optimal doctrine for all scenarios. Now, when you go for superior firepower, as we said, you want to pick suppressive barrage as your preferred tactic, and again, you may want to switch later on for breakthrough if you prefer it. But you can also keep it for the entire game. In terms of spirits, the first one will be the same for all of our doctrines. This doesn't change much. I believe bold attack is the best. This is the best, especially when you're grinding generals and you want them to get obviously extra attack points. To be honest, I don't particularly love this spirit, but there is not much else in this first tier that we can pick. Now, for the second tier, we have more options. When you go for superior firepower, you may want to get overwhelming firepower. This is actually pretty good. It makes it much cheaper to design artillery units and support companies. So this is a good one. It also increases the experience artillery gains from combat. But another very safe choice that I mostly pick in all of my games is Professional Officer Corps. This is a flat bonus to the army experience that you gain. It's a plus 5%. You also get more command power, and it decreases the cost of the land doctrines. So this is always valuable. It actually always pays itself off. So in the long run, this is great value. As for the third tier, when you go for superior firepower, you also want to go for smoke and fire, because it increases the breakthrough of your units, and also it makes suppressive barrage the tactical choice of your divisions, of your armies, almost at all times. And this is one of the reasons you may not want to switch from suppressive barrage into breakthrough, because by using this, you are guaranteed that your units will actually use suppressive barrage, which is a very good tactic. That's about it for what I consider to be the best doctrine, but let's talk about my favorite doctrine, which is sadly not the best one. Now, for this one I decided to switch to Germany as it fits it much better, and let's talk about mobile warfare. Now, mobile warfare is another amazing doctrine. It's just not as versatile and flexible as superior firepower. Mobile warfare is obviously intended for blitzkrieg and for tanks. If you're not going to build tanks, then you can forget about this and you can go for superior firepower. Now, arguably, superior firepower may be better for some situations even when you go for tanks, because of course you use support companies with tanks too, and they still give them a pretty nice bonus. But the mobile warfare doctrine does have some advantages when you're going for tanks. Now, right at the beginning you get extra breakthrough, which is great for tanks. You also get extra division speed, careful because that's very important. You get less organization loss when moving, you get faster planning speed. So these are all very good things when you're going for a blitzkrieg kind of tactic. Now, as you keep going down the line, you get more and more speed, you get more breakthrough, more organization, very important again for tanks. Now, having higher organization through your doctrines allows you to go for smaller division templates in terms of tanks without giving up on actual tanks in the template, and that's actually pretty beneficial. So this is very good when you want to maximize the organization on your tanks without increasing too much the division template size or adding too much infantry or motorized to it. By the time you get to Blitzkrieg, you also unlock the best tactic in the game, Breakthrough. We're going to talk about it in a little bit. As we proceed to the end, we get even more breakthrough, organization, and recovery rate. Now, if I must be completely honest, the last part of this doctrine is maybe a bit underwhelming compared to superior firepower, but the first part, the first two branches, which are the most important ones, because those are the ones you're going to use in World War II, these ones are very, very powerful if you're going for tanks. Now, let's briefly talk about the spirits and the tactic. Of course, the tactic, as I was mentioning earlier, is going to be breakthrough. Breakthrough is an amazing tactic, which gives you more movement and attack damage. In terms of spirits, again, the first one is always bold attack. This second one, you have a couple of options. You can go for motorization drive to make your tank and motorized templates much cheaper, and by much cheaper I mean entirely free, because it's a minus 100% design cost. Or you can still go for professional officer corps. This is up to you. Arguably, motorization drive is better when you're designing your templates, but then if you're going to stick to those templates for the rest of the game, this doesn't get much more value. Finally, for the third tier, you want to go for maneuver warfare. This further increases the speed and coordination of your divisions, which is extremely good with your tanks, as it allows them to overrun the enemy troops, the retreating enemy troops, to destroy them completely, and to make your Blitzkrieg more successful. Now, let me briefly talk about the last two doctrines options, although I never pick them. Now, for mass assault, it's very difficult to find a reason, in my opinion, to go for it. It's almost always better, if not always better, to just go for superior firepower if you plan to go for mass assault. For Grand Battle Plan, the same thing may be said, with one exception. The first skill here is actually very good, because plus 25% entrenchment speed and especially plus 10 max entrenchment, it's huge when you need to protect from a big offensive. So if you're lacking army experience and you don't think you will be able to get many of the skills from mobile warfare in particular, but from superior firepower as well, early on in the game you may want to go for Grand Battle Plan to protect from a big offensive. There are not many examples I can think of, maybe with the Soviet Union protecting from Barbarossa, although I recently made a video about that in which we went for superior firepower and it worked much better. But in scenarios like that, you may want to have the extra entrenchment from Grand Battle Plan. In any case, I would later on switch back to superior firepower or to mobile warfare, depending on whether you're pushing with tanks, mobile warfare, or with infantry, superior firepower. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, of course, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.